Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING. Get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, May the 25th. Race number 6 at Canterbury. It's the Brooks Field Stakes. We're going a mile on the turf. $50,000 is the purse. And we kick off a 50-cent pick 4. We're going to take a look at this field and hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate because there's a lot of rain in this forecast. Scan the QR code for race of the day access on your mobile devices and view free Formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Take a peek, handicap along with us. So many of major final determinations. Play this race with your DRF Bets account with free Formulator past performances. Talk about class relief, Mike. The 7 busy channel drops out of a grade 1.
Yeah, I think it is class relief. This is a good field, but I do think it's class relief for Busy Channel. He's 2-1 on the line. I think he's a deserving favorite in here. I do think he's the horse to beat. But man, it's not like he has, a giant edge here, Dan. He can't afford to make too many mistakes against this field.
He does have tactical speed. There appears to be pace in this race. Let's take a look at the time form US pace projector. The 8 Tuts Revenge is fast. Tiger Dad is stretching out from the inside post. That horse should show speed. My Indy should show speed as well. But remember to visit timeformus.com once scratches are made official because this pace projector will change. And considering the weather, this entire complexion of the race may change. Tuts Revenge, though, does have good speed.
But he does. The 9 Drama Chorus also has speed. As you've mentioned, Dan, there are a couple of horses inside who can be forward. I mean, they have the number 2, Bodenheimer. What does they have him there? 6th on the pace projector. This is a horse stretching out from sprints. That horse has won 3 times in his life. All 3 of those races sprinting where he just went wire to wire. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to show speed in here.
The number 1, Tiger Dad, is a very fast horse. Won the Phoenix Gold Cup on dirt 2 starts back at Turf Paradise, going 6 furlongs. He was close to a contested pace that day. Last time out at Churchill Downs, didn't break very well, and that was the end of him in a race where he was probably in a little bit too tough. His prior turf races are solid, but if there's a fast pace on tap, it might work against him.
Yeah, I don't think he can afford to be up there battling on the lead against this field. We'll see if he can sort of pull a different trip, Dan. He has the 1 turf race back in January where, I mean, I guess if he runs that kind of a race, he could factor in here in some way. His turf start after that in February where he faced a couple of these horses. I didn't really see the excuse there, Dan. He got a little headstrong early in that race, and so he wound up, sort of pulling up after the leaders in there. But I don't know. I thought he settled pretty well after that, had a real shot at it, and wasn't good enough.
Bodenheimer is the number 2. You mentioned his speed. He was a stakes winner as a 2-year-old sprinting on turf at Keeneland. I think the 2 concerns are, A, he hasn't gotten much better since then, and distance has always been a big question mark with this horse.
Yeah, exactly. And then, then you throw in that he lands in a race that feels like there's plenty of other pace for him to have to contend with in here. There's a lot working against him.
The 3, Bellamys Roan, might be looking for a rain-off. He really likes a wet track. This is an Arkansas bred, still eligible for a non-winners of 2 life, who would be making his turf debut, and I just don't see enough turf pedigree for me to take a flyer in a very competitive race like this.
No, if this race stays on the turf and he elects to stay in and try this surface for the first time, I don't think he has any chance at all. But listen, maybe they just entered him hoping it comes off.
Giant Payday, the number 4, won this race back in 2019. He's always been a very consistent runner, and he's going to be making his first start since finishing 4th in the Fitzsimmons, finishing behind My Indy. Now, I thought all in all, he had a pretty good trip in that race, sitting the pocket, but the problem was the pace just didn't come back to him. Those 2 horses up front ran 1-2 all the way around the track.
Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe he just didn't really have a fair chance last time. Not that he, could ever really get involved. I thought 2 back when he was, behind My Indy again, I thought he had a little bit of an excuse that day, Dan. He had to he was right in behind those leaders down to mid-stretch. He could not get through. He had to, give up some momentum to try to get to the outside, and he just couldn't recover from that. This race is going to set up really well for him, it looks like. And I think he's the horse that you want to, use somewhere at a price.
He might be dirtied up. He likes the course. He could get the setup. That makes 8-1, perhaps in line for a giant payday. My Indy is up next, the number 5. We're going to take a look at the Fitzsimmons, the race where giant payday finished 4th. My Indy is up close to the pace in this race, and the pace held up. You see him coming just off the inside in the blue silks in between horses, and talk about a tough loss.
Yeah, I mean, he just misses in here. It's not like he has some big excuse, Dan. He just went up to the front with the horse that eventually wins it, who is the odds-on favorite down on the rail. Listen, they basically matched on the lead together the entire way. My Indy had every chance to beat that horse to the wire, and he just missed. He ran fine in there. He was very game to win 2 starts back. I thought he ran well that day. His overall form's very good.
It was a decent field of Fitzsimmons. Camino del Paraíso, the 5th place finisher, came back to run 3rd in the Grade 3 San Francisco Mile. My Indy just looks like a late developer. He didn't look like much early in his career. He's now hit the board in his last 8 races. The number 6 is Buck Moon. This one is entered for main track only and would be a very strong contender if this race is washed off of the turf. But we will move on to the 7 Busy Channel, who is probably the horse to beat. A good winner at Keeneland 2 starts back, and they ran him in the Turf Classic at Churchill Downs, a Grade 1. He was in too tough, and he was chasing a pretty quick pace.
Yeah, I think you don't want to be too hard on him for that last race. He looked good winning that allowance race at Keeneland 2 back. There were some stakes quality horses in there. Busy Channel just sat a really nice trip and got the job done through the stretch. And it feels like he's the kind of horse he does like to be forward, Dan, but he's very handy. I feel like if this pace does get fast, it might not affect him as much as it affects some of the others.
Prior graded stakes winner on the turf, he seems to fit very well with this group. Tut's Revenge, who is the expected pace setter in what could be a very crowded pace picture, he went gate to wire last time out at Lone Star Park, and we're going to take a look at that race right now. And Tut's Revenge had to run hard. In the early part of this race, he had to run hard basically from the half-mile point home, and he sprints on home, and I think the margin of victory is a little bit deceptive. I think it's a little bit easier than it looks at the wire.
Yeah, I agree. He did all the hard work in this race. This is a really nice performance, I think. As you mentioned, he did make the lead, pretty easily after getting out of the gate really well. But he never got a breather in this race. They did not let him walk on the lead. They forced him along the entire way. He just kept fighting, and he wouldn't let anybody get by him. Really good performance. Can he do that again, Dan? It feels like he's in line for a similar trip against this field.
Yeah, can he do it again against a tougher field in a tougher pace scenario? I know he had to go fast last time out, but these might be classier horses testing him. The good news is he's done very well at Canterbury in the past. Now, while he went fast from start to finish, the 9 Drama Chorus got a wonderful ride from Alonso Quinones when winning a stakes race at Tampa Bay against fellow Florida breds. Let's watch that race back in late March. It was at a mile and an eighth, and boy, Drama Chorus got loose and walked the dog through a 48 4.5. He's got just enough to hold on at the end. He's run some fast races in his last 2. The pace scenario, though, likely to be different here. The good news is he's shown he can sit and finish.
Yeah, very well rated in this race, and he's very game through the stretch, too. He's not letting this horse get by him, and it's not like that horse had any excuse either. He just sat right up close, Dan, and Drama Chorus was never going to let him get by. I thought he ran well 2 starts back as well. He couldn't hold on that day, but that horse that just got him at the wire, that horse might be pretty good. He's undefeated right now, 5 for 5, 2 for 2 since he got over here from France. That horse looks like he's going to be okay. This horse, to me, is in really, really good form right now.
Sonny Smack is the number 10. And if you're looking for a horse to take advantage of what could be a pace meltdown, maybe it's Sonny Smack. You first look at his lines and you say, well, come on. He was entered for a tag in his last couple of races. But look who he was in against. He was in against a couple of tough optional claiming heats. Wolfie's Dynaghost is okay. But last time out, he was in against Sherrill Spite, who came back to win 2 graded stakes, including the Makers 46. You just draw a line through the last race.
Yeah, you're right. We were talking about the class relief for the favorite in this field. Dan's class relief for this horse, too. And I guess he's just going to sit back and make one run. That could really work for him in here.
It'll be a very interesting race, especially if there is rain and this race is on soft turf. We're going to take a look at our top picks in here. I don't want to go too short on the tote, Mike, with your morning line favorite, the number 7. Busy Channel. We're going to go with Busy Channel on top. But if Busy Channel does scratch, and Marcus Hirsch in his race advance said that, Larry Ravelli does have options. Drama Chorus is interesting to me because he has shown that versatility and he's very sharp.
Yeah, I looked at it the same way, Dan. Busy Channel just feels like a really good spot for him, and I do think he could get the right kind of trip in here. I took him, but I'm with you. I wouldn't take too short a price on this horse. I like the last couple of races for Drama Course, even though the pace could work against him a little bit here. He's a horse who likes to go to the front.
We're both going 7-9 in the Brooks Fields at Canterbury. Nice card at Canterbury on Wednesday. You can play the race and the card with your DRF Bets account. Best of luck.